So hello and good afternoon. I'm pleased to be here with you, surrounded by a group of such talented leaders and luminaries. I'm David Moore. I'm chairman of Xaxis, the largest programmatic and audience platform in the world. I've told this story before, so forgive me if you've heard it before, but it's so apropos today that I feel compelled to tell it to this room. I was traveling to Chicago to make a speech, and when I got to Chicago, it had the same sort of storm that occurred on the East Coast last weekend. And when I got into the room like this, there was only one person sitting in the front row. But I'd traveled that far and I'd prepared diligently, so I said, what the heck, I'll give my speech. So I gave my speech, and at the end of it, the gentleman in the front row stood up and gave me a standing ovation. I said, thank you very much. I'm a little weary. I think I'll go back to my room to freshen up. And he says, oh, no, you're not. I'm the next speaker. So I appreciate seeing a full room here today. At Xaxis, our teams are tasked every day with coming up with innovative digital solutions that make advertising more engaging and more welcome to audiences. To do this successfully, we focus primarily on the activation and the analysis of data against media. In short, using data to make informed media decisions. Data, the topic of our next session, is like music, a universal language that communicates and connects audiences in a way that only those who experience it can understand. Now, more than ever, we're seeing situations where data is breaking down barriers and bringing people, businesses, and processes together without prejudice. Data is the most valuable asset. We store it, protect it, and use it to craft our futures. Data drives us, our business. Data drives change. But how do we exploit data to drive outcomes? Today's audiences are more fragmented than ever before, with attention spans low and options for content consumption continuing to expand. According to eMarketer reports, programmatic will be a $21.66 billion business by the end of this year in the US alone. While this is an exciting frontier, with this growth comes great opportunity, but also challenges. Access to a single brand's consumer data in isolation is no longer enough. To become relevant in our audience's busy lives, the only option is data fusion. This is why at Xaxis, we've invested over $25 million into developing our own one-of-a-kind, programmatic-ready data engine, Turbine, which calculates over 25,000 data points in less than a second. Adding exclusive data from partnerships with best-of-class data owners like Oracle, Dun & Bradstreet, MasterCard, and others further empowers our data engine to develop more complete audience portraits for our clients. And this is a fundamental principle of data fusion. However, just as audiences' consumption habits are fragmenting, so is our industry. Therefore, data fusion not only helps develop more complete audience portraits for advertisers, it also powers our mission to take media across walled gardens and across platforms, because data-informed audiences need scale in order to drive real-world impact. Oracle is not only a valued partner of Xaxis, it is also an ideal example of a company that has understood the value of data since its inception. Data has always driven their charge to modernize the way they do business and innovate. A wise man at Oracle once said, when you innovate, you've got to be prepared for people to tell you you are nuts. And I think our next speaker has shown that he is ready to endure the name calling. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our next speaker, Executive Chairman of the Board and Chief Technology Officer at Oracle, Larry Ellison.